But I'm joined now by a lawmaker who was able to win against an AIPAC-endorsed primary challenger, the Democratic Congresswoman Summer Lee of Pennsylvania. She represents the state's 12th district, which covers Pittsburgh and much of Allegheny County. Congresswoman, nice to see you in person. You and I have talked many times remotely. I'm going to just ask you bluntly, why did AIPAC invest so much money and energy in seeing you not elected?
I think we'll have a difficult time hearing what the truth is. I speculate that the reason is because I'm a Black progressive woman. Right? There was a trend before I started to run for Congress that we had seen in cycles before that of them targeting a very specific type of congressperson. Right. And to be clear, it's not just congresspeople who are going to criticize Israel. These criticisms also come with a critique of how our government works. It comes of a critique of corporations, of our environmental justice policies. We talk about criminal legal reform and so many other issues that I think and what we can see is when we directly look at who's behind AIPAC, those are the type of issues that those folks also are attempting to protect or to keep folks like us out.
So, and in fact, we could talk about Cori Bush. We can talk about Ilhan Omar. We can talk about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Many people who fit into that category are being targeted. Because the things that you've said that are critical of the government of Israel or supportive of Palestinian self-determination, you're not at the tip of the spear on this stuff, I have to say.
No. I mean, I think that objectively, the things that we are saying are measured. We are careful in how we talk about this, but we do recognize that this is a foreign nation state, that just as we would critique the United States, as we critique our own government, that we have to offer critiques of governments that we also give money to. Here in the United States, we give $3.8 billion a year to the Israeli government. And I think that should obviously come with some critique. It comes with no conditions at all right now. That's the extent to the criticism that we offer. That's the extent of our conversation about Israel that elicits this type of response.
So does that surprise you that you get that kind of response? I mean, you were really amongst the biggest targets of AIPAC of all, and you didn't succumb to it.
I think it was shocking. I think it's shocking what they're doing to democracy, right? I can think about how it impacted me, how it impacted my district. It's Pittsburgh, it's a small media market. $3 million can go quite far, but I think what we have tried to lift up is that they never talked about Israel anyways. They spent the $3 million to spread disinformation, to connect me with Donald Trump or Marjorie Taylor Greene, who, in fact, are the types of candidates that AIPAC has supported. Right. They spent the money to say I wasn't enough of a Democrat. And it harmed voters who were looking to make an informed decision. It stripped them of their ability to make a decision about democracy. So when I say that AIPAC and others like it are an existential threat to our democracy, that sort of money should not come into our elections. It keeps us from having a reflective democracy. It keeps everyday, particularly working class voters from being able to participate in the ways that they deserve to participate in our democracy.
Let's talk about criticism of governments. On this show alone, I think I have been critical. I'm just trying to make a list in my head. Turkey, Hungary, Iran, Myanmar, China, Saudi Arabia, they're a bunch because that's what we do. We're journalists, right? Including probably the one I talk the most about is the United States of America, right? We are meant to hold you and people in the government to account. AIPAC has decided that on the particular issue of Israel, doing that is wrong. They've gone as far as to call it anti-Semitic, but whether you call it anti-Semitic or not, it's just wrong. It's not something that should be allowed to be done. How do we help people understand that it can't be wrong about Israel, nor can it be wrong about the United States, nor can it be wrong about Canada or Australia or anyone else whose policies we think should be held to account? It's not about the people who live there. It's about their governments.
When we apply the standards that we've learned in our civics classes when we were younger, we talk about how important our First Amendment is. We talk about how important it is to be educated voters, to look critically at our government's actions. That is one of the basic tenets of American life, of American civic life. So it goes against everything that we've learned to be told or to be conditioned to think that we can't talk about another government. But also, I think that what we really have to see is that it's also obfuscating from so much else. It's not just a critique of Israel. It's who is a part of AIPAC and who's running it. What we see, if we pull back the veil, is that AIPAC is also being supported. You know, they have billionaires who are supporting AIPAC, who run, you know, their races against us, but they're also the people who have captured our Supreme Court. This is the same billionaires who have flown Alito and Thomas out and given them fancy yacht trips. These are the same folks. So what we're actually doing is attempting to keep us from being able to see what's happening at every level of our government here in the United States. And this one topic is what we focus on heavily, whether or not we can criticize Israel. And we're missing what's happening with our own democracy because of AIPAC's donors, because of folks who are supportive of them.
What are you going to do in the next election? How is this going to affect you? They're coming at you again?
Yes, absolutely. They've already promised to spend $100 million on 5 black and brown women and 1 man, right, who are in overwhelmingly working class districts. So we can expect the same storm, but quite bigger, where, you know, wall-to-wall coverage, right? Where you cut on the TV in the morning to the time you go to sleep at night, there are endless commercials, multiple mailers. It comes on digital ads, Hulu. Right now, they're running ads even on child protected sites. So if you have a child monitor on your YouTube, those videos are still getting through, and children are hearing ads about beheadings and rape that they, you know, shouldn't otherwise, you know, be targeted at children. So we can expect that. We know that it's coming. But we also know that that depresses the vote. It makes voters skeptical of the process as a whole. It makes them not want to participate, and it makes people tune out. That's what we're going to see in my district. That's what we're going to see probably in districts like Cori Bush's and Jamal Bowman's. And we have to hope that Democrats take a stand as a whole. This hurts democracy. It erodes democracy. When we talk about democracy reform, if we're not talking about money in politics, particularly dark money in politics, then we're not having an honest conversation.
Summer Lee, thanks for being with us.